What's up, everybody? Let's punt this for a little bit. LA side to the east side. Hope you don't keep me on. Hope you don't give me on ass for this. They got another perfect day. I love Philly. We love it. Well, I don't want the copyright folks getting on me, so yep, another championship in LA won by the LA Rams. Another LA team for the third year. Another LA team wins the Major Sports Championship. Well, we got the label in the Mickey Mouse. Then we got Dodgers winning Texas. So now the Rams win at home in, well, it was Inglewood, but in LA County. And they finally lift the outdoor mask mandate. 2 years too late, but our safetiest public health people finally moved on. Well, not moved on. Not a crypt keeper of a health official, but otherwise we moved on. I'll show you the health official real quick. But as you see, compared to the rest of the U.S., most Angelenos, or I say at least half Angelenos, are still wearing their mask outside because we don't really pay attention. That's the thing. Most folks in California, most young folks, they get their news from the internet. So basically, they follow what the internet's saying, where than the boomer generation will get their news from TV, or most right-wing folks, they get their news from radio or YouTube. But most of these folks get their news from NPR, CNN, New York Times, Washington Post. You know what I'm saying? Those caring people. The thing is, these folks are not really liberals. They're really just professionals. They're I say the laptop class. As someone that's part of laptop class myself, we're part of the same class, but I get paid less than these cats. But I had a really good 2020 to 21 on YouTube, just off my views. Well, I didn't get that, whatever. But yeah, it seems like California really changed their tune after major political leaders were exposed not wearing masks during the NFL games at SoFi Stadium. Especially during the NFC Championship game, which was a battle at California. And then the Super Bowl, where most people don't really wear masks. The thing is, there's not that much enforcement of, mask wearing in stadiums. So, basically, the officials moved on. But the reason why they really pushed it was because of the teachers' unions. We're more the anti-mandate side focused more on the teachers' unions than on the media. Because those folks are the folks that really have the power behind all these mask mandates, all these mask mandates for kids and all that. It's really the teachers' union. It's not Fauci and all that. They're all bending down for the teachers' union. And let me show y'all from the Super Bowl, these type of folks. This folk is not a liberal. She's I say she's a Warren progressive who's a wannabe British person. Or that's a British person, yeah. See, the thing is, most of these folks, most of these Karens, they take their ideas from, the UK. You know what I mean? Basically, the British Commonwealth, especially Australia and New Zealand. But as you see, Governor Newsom didn't wear a mask. Mayor Garcetti didn't wear a mask and had a weird ass response, basically bowing down I took my mask off for a second. I swear, man, he has to be the biggest pussy for a political leader I've seen in a minute. Literally, man, the guy has soy balls. Let's see Governor Newsom in Magic. I'm trying to find. Basically, the right-wing folks are super mad at Governor Newsom because of the mask police. Because he defied the mandated championship game. And then Kevin Colley, somebody who ran for governor during recall election, showed a mask of Governor Newsom and Magic Johnson maskless so far during the championship game. You know what? The most surprising thing about this photo is not these two not wearing masks. Is that Governor Newsom not wearing his 49ers gear. Because it's well known, like, he's a big 49ers fan. I mean, he's from San Francisco, so. And there's more folks exposing our governor who's having lower approval ratings, who's having his approval ratings take a big hit after this exposure. This is from, like, Trump's ex, like, yeah, the mask in his hand. Do you see a mask? You see? Yeah. And then you see our assembly members having to wear masks during the building while our governor is once again being a hypocrite. Once again being a do as they say, not as they do type of Democrat. And as you see, like he didn't have his mask for a brief moment. He had it for most of the time. And then you see Newsom chilling. Let's see Garcetti maskless. I mean, basically, like, yeah, like the political elites had this one rule, and then like the workers, I mean, most of the working class had a separate rule, where, or I say the service class had to basically wear masks all day to serve like these folks, the political class, the political and the donor class. And a lot of these donor class people were like Netflix and like landlords, you know what I'm saying, property managers. Yeah, those are the money in California. And then you see Mayor Garcetti maskless at the Super Bowl, rocking the Rams jersey, which most likely he's on the bandwagon on. Man, that's a big reason why I'm not going to this LA Rams parade, because it's going to be like bandwagoners like this guy showing like, yeah, we're the real Rams fan. We won the Super Bowl. I'm telling you, like LA sports culture in general, like. We're basically bandwagon. We like to follow the winners, and we don't support when the teams lose. I mean, we're not like Cleveland or like Baltimore fans that stick by their team no matter what. No, we go for our teams when they win. When they lose, we'll move on to be Chargers fans. Or move on to be Raider fans, like most of the local fans are. But yeah, as you see, Mayor Garcetti, he was maskless and chilling with everybody, and especially as I can see the LA Fire. Never mind wearing masks neither. So basically, they expect folks like us to follow the rules, expect the Karens to force these mask mandates while they can do whatever they want. The Karens don't pay attention because, oh well, they care about science, not the anti-vax people. No, we're the people that care about science. But the thing is, like, we should have moved on from mask wearing for like the last year or so. Especially when you pay attention like SEC country. I mean, like, I don't think any of these people on the West Coast have paid attention to SEC crowds because the Pac-12 still had these strict guidelines in place trying to be like Australia and New Zealand, while these SEC crowds are just packed and full. Look at this shit. Look at these. I mean, they've moved on from the pandemic basically 2 years ago, and we're still stuck on these mask mandates, like all this pandemic theater. While these cats just moved on. Look at this. These cats are swag surfing. They don't. Yeah. Pandemic? What pandemic? I mean, yeah, like they got higher, like. And the thing is, like, they just completely moved on from like this COVID zero agenda, but like most of our public health officials still stuck on it because a lot of like the suburban Karens who want this place to be like New Zealand. But yeah, that turned out to be an epic flop with the last vote for universal health care anyway. But as you see, like, oh yeah, that's an earlier video. Yeah, look at this. I mean, they're still. I mean, yeah, they flip flopped on this completely. But as you see, most crowds like outside of like the coastal areas are pretty much maskless. They're like, what pandemic? I mean, yeah, it's basically empty because like OU's not a good basketball team, but still, like most of the crowd is not wearing. Yeah, it's a very red state, but they've moved on. Let's go to Georgia crowd or Alabama crowd. There you go, Alabama. You know, Alabama, the number one sport in that state is the Crimson Tide. Well, college football, but yeah, Crimson Tide or Tigers mostly. It's like the most college football state in the country. Now you got this whack job. But as you see, like most of these cats in the deep south have moved on. even Ohio State, even in Big Ten country, they've moved on from the pandemic. Yet we're still hyper focused on mask wearing, mask mandates. Because I mean, when it's all like basically a steer, it's just social theater to get people to comply to something. But and you see, like, yeah, most of the crowds have moved on, like outside of like the coastal areas, and we're still wanting to be like New England from where we're reason. With I don't know. It's because of the voters. I mean, most of the voters they come from like the East Coast. I mean, and they basically supplant like the local natives who are more like I say more socially conservative and more physically conservative as well. I mean, yeah, basically most Latinos. This is a very machismo crowd. But yeah, like we're finally moving on from mask mandates in California, which has been a year late. Our public health officials are clowns. Let me show you this one. Let me show you Skeletor real quick. Barbara Fair. I gotta show y'all Skeletor real quick. As you see, this woman is behind the health decisions of close to 10 million people. And she's paid like $500,000. Let's look up let's look it up right now. She's basically a East Coast liberal who's paid over close to $500,000. It costs $500,000, yet this woman just looks sick. She looks like the Crypt Keeper. How do we have this woman making political decisions in our county? Seriously, like she's the main person behind these mask mandates, basically to pander to Karens. That's what she's doing. All she does is pander to Karens, yet she ignores the vast majority of Angelinos. And as you see, like she's still wearing a mask. She looks very sick. She has a leg brace on. So seriously, this unhealthy looking woman is behind most of the public health orders of us like wearing masks in facilities and outside. I mean, seriously, I mean, make it make sense, folks. We don't pay attention to this crap in LA. Because, oh, la-di-da, we just drive from point A to point B and just go back to their homes and watch Netflix and Hulu all night. And all day we spend on the internet. That's basically her voter base. But most of the service industry don't really pay attention to like stuff like this. And it takes someone like me who has a lot of free time to notice all this crap and pay attention to so I can get y'all to pay attention to what's happening in the world around you. But anyways, I want to move on from that, and I want to move on to Moist Critical. Yeah, basically YouTubers coming after Moist Critical because yeah, he's one of the top YouTubers right now. Especially folks like H3, who's starting to become one of the biggest haters on the YouTube community. I mean, like, as you see, yeah, Charlie, Moist Critical, Penguins. I can't keep up with this cat's name. Like, he changes his name all the time. he has like 10 million subscribers, and like, man, H3's been going after this dude hard in the last couple of days. But the thing is, like, you can tell, like, H3's been going after Joe Rogan. He's been going after Jordan Peterson. Like, he ain't getting clout for that, so now it's time for him to get some clout out of Moist Critical. Especially amplifying that, like, that one Australian YouTuber went after Moist Critical. Went after Moist Critical, and the thing is, like, outside of him, who cares? Because the thing is, we all know Charlie has more clout than Ethan right now, and Ethan's just Ethan's seething in jealousy because, like, I mean, Ethan has a lot of like power and pull within the YouTube community, and he's jealous. Like, Charlie has more viewers and subscribers than he gets, and as you see, like, yeah, he made a video saying Moist Critical is destroying YouTube. No, Ethan. No, more like you're destroying YouTube because you're jealous of another man's success, dude. I mean, seriously, like, I mean, a lot of folks say, like, oh, I'm a hater for going after this salty cracker guy. But no, like, I was offering that counterpoint to his bullshit. I mean, because the thing is, like, there's a third lane between that and that. But this is just straight up jealousy, as you see. Like, Ethan Klein, his old channel, like his H3 podcast, he's not getting enough many subscribers as pink views and pink as Charlie's getting. So he got to go war against Critical. And as you see, he's still obsessed with Keemstar. So basically, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Ethan in the last 3 years just becoming jealous and bitter hater. Man, he's not the funny H3 he used to be. Like, what, since 2016? Yeah, he hasn't made any good content since 2017, to be honest with you. Ever since he moved on to that podcast, man, like, he just jumped the shark, man. It's just too overtly divisive, too overtly political. And you can tell, like, the guy is just a big-ass hater right now. And you see, like, he has 7 million subscribers in Charlie, who basically is just in his own lane. And it's probably one of the more level-headed YouTubers when it comes to, like, controversial issues. Like, he doesn't really take a strong side on anything. Like, he waits for the facts to get out, then he gives his opinion. Like, what's happening with EDP 445. Like, that whole issue. Nah, I'll make a video about EDP 445 in the near future, but yeah. Let's see some YouTube talk about Moist Critical, Main Street, and Ethan Klein. And as you see, like, he's piggybacking off this Australian YouTuber who made like a long video about Ethan Klein. And now I hear this funny meme. Is that Aqua Teen Hunger? I gotta get rid of that. Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Choosing Moist Critical. And there's the guy I'm talking about, man. He went a 14-page essay with Jackson's video talking about why react streamers are bad. And on-time creator and anticipate Moist Critical respond. Then man respond and basically stirred up some drama. Yeah, like that. Like, that's the new drama right now. And then you got like HC like piggybacking off of it. Well, I'm repeating this a couple times, but yeah, y'all already got the point. Yeah, I'm gonna. Let's take this peek of Price of Dark. Hey, I gotta get this Australian to get point right here. That was easy supposed to know your diagnosis. Only thing bigger clear for cloud. Take a break for son Jesus Christ. Here's if you, let me hear this. I'm gonna read this one Australian accent real quick. Hold on. Here's Australia. Is a 1,000 IQ strategy for life. If you don't fucking know anything, you don't fucking say anything. I know this will cause actually to shut up for the rest of his life. Rest of his life? Well, there was absolutely no loss here. That was bad. See, I got it down, man. Like, yeah, they raised their shit. They raised their vowels a bit. Man, it's basically like a British genre, but man. And he got bitch slap hard by Dark Fighter. Yeah, like, this dude is just desperate for clout now, man. Like, he lost most of his clout during his podcast, and now he's back to, like, going after other YouTubers to get himself his clout back. But And to see here, like the guy is a father, the guy is a father now of his sons. Why don't you focus on family content rather than just going out there big YouTube because you're jealous of him? And he still got his never-ending battle with Keemstar, man. And you see, like he's focused on canceling people. I mean, the thing is, like, he was one of the biggest like anti-SJW YouTubers in 2016. That was one of the main cancel people. I don't know whether to like absolve himself or something or get himself some clout, but yeah, his main focus is just going after the other YouTubers now. As you see, yeah, like he just basically just becoming a giant. I just see like going after Joe Rogan. Yeah, he's going after all of the big hot topics to get himself some clout again. But Turkey Tom told him like everybody hates Ethan, and that video has like 1 million views. Like he's another part of the commentary community. I recommend you check out. Like he's pretty level-headed and even balanced. Like that's where am too at this moment. So yeah. I'm gonna pivot away from super political content and get back to like community creating. And I'd like to give a shout out to my new subscriber, Lion Donnins. Thank you for subscribing, and please like and subscribe my channel if you want to stay up to date and entertained on what's happening in the community. So have a good day, y'all.